Good day, everyone. In this session, you will learn how to talk about the future in English. What are you doing this afternoon? What are your plans for next Sunday? Who will win the next football match? In this session, you will learn to answer these and other questions about the future in clear, natural, correct English. You will see many simple phrases which you can learn to help you talk about the future in English in any situation. There are several ways of talking about the future in English. We can, for example, use the simple future tense, the going to form, or the simple present tense. It is important to remember that we are expressing more than simply the time of the action or event. Obviously, any future tense will always refer to a time later than now, but it may also express our attitude to the future event. All of these following ideas can be expressed using different tenses. To show simple prediction, for example, there will be snow in many areas tomorrow. To express arrangements, I'm meeting Jim at the airport. To express plans and intentions, we're going to spend the summer abroad. To express timetabled events, for example, the plane takes off at 3 a.m. To express prediction based on present evidence, I think it's going to rain. To express willingness, we'll give you a lift to the cinema. An action in progress in the future, for example, this time next week I'll be sunbathing. To express an action or event that is a matter of routine, for example, you'll be seeing John in the office tomorrow, won't you? To express obligation, for example, you are to travel directly to London. To express an action or event that will take place immediately or very soon. For example, the train is about to leave. And also to express projecting ourselves into the future and looking back at a completed action. For example, a month from now, he will have finished all his exams. It is clear from these examples that several tenses are used to express the future. The future tense section shows the form and function of each of these uses of future tenses. There are 4 future verb tenses in English: simple future tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, and future perfect continuous tense. The first one is simple future tense. The simple future refers to a time later than now and expresses facts or certainty. The simple future is used to predict a future event. For example, it will rain tomorrow. With I or we to express a spontaneous decision. I'll pay for the tickets by credit card. To express willingness, for example, I'll do the washing up. He'll carry your bag for you. In the negative form, to express unwillingness, for example, the baby won't eat his soup. I won't leave until I've seen the manager. With I in an interrogative form using shall to make an offer. For example, shall I open the window? With we in the interrogative form using shall to make a suggestion. For example, shall we go to the cinema tonight? With I in an interrogative form using shall to ask for advice or instructions. For example, what shall I tell the boss about this money? With you to give orders. For example, you will do exactly as I say. With you in the interrogative form to give an invitation. For example, will you come to the dance with me? Or will you marry me? So there are also contractions here that I can give you. For example, I will to be contracted into I'll. We will become will. You will become you'll. He will become he'll. And she will become she'll. They will become they'll. Will not become won't. So the simple formula for simple future tense is subject plus will plus infinitive without to. And in this chart, you can see the formula of the simple future tense. Subject plus will plus infinitive without to. For example, as in affirmative, I will go. I shall go. In a negative form, they will not see. They won't see. In an interrogative, will she ask? And in interrogative negative form, won't they try? So the second one is future continuous tense. The future continuous refers to an unfinished action or event that will be in progress at a later time than now. The future continuous is used for quite a few different purposes. The future continuous can be used to project ourselves into the future. For example, this time next week I will be sunbathing in Bali. By Christmas, I will be skiing like a pro. Just think, next Monday you will be working in your new job. The future continuous can be used for predicting or guessing about future events. For example, he'll be coming to the meeting, I expect. I guess you'll be feeling thirsty after working in the sun. You'll be missing the sunshine once you're back in England. In the interrogative form, the future continuous can be used to ask politely for information about the future. For example, will you be bringing your friend to the pub tonight? Will Jim be coming with us? Will she be going to the party tonight? Will I be sleeping in this room? The future continuous can be used to refer to continuous event that we expect to happen in the future. For example, I'll be seeing Jim at the conference next week. When he is in Australia, he will be staying with friends. I'll be eating with Jane this evening so I can tell her. When combined with still, the future continuous refers to events that are already happening now and that we expect to continue sometime into the future. For example, in an hour, I'll still be ironing my clothes. Tomorrow, he'll still be suffering from his cold. Next year, will she still be wearing a size 6? Won't stock prices still be falling in this morning? Unfortunately, sea levels will still be rising in 20 years. So here in this chart, you can see the formula of the future continuous tense. It is subject plus simple future of the verb to be plus present participle. In affirmative form, for example, I will be staying. You will be flying. In a negative form, for example, I won't be staying. You won't be flying. In an interrogative form, will I be staying? In an interrogative negative form, won't I be staying? The third one is future perfect tense. The future perfect tense refers to a completed action in the future. When we use this tense, we are projecting ourselves forward into the future and looking back at an action that will be completed sometime later than now. It is most often used with a time expression. For example, I will have been here for 6 months on June 23rd. By the time you read this, I will have left. You will have finished your report by this time next week. Won't they have arrived by 5? Will you have eaten when I pick you up? And here I'm showing you the formula of the future perfect tense. It is subject plus will have plus past participle of the main verb. In affirmative form, for example, I will have arrived. You will have finished. In a negative form, for example, I won't have arrived. You won't have finished. In an interrogative form, for example, will I have arrived? In an interrogative negative form, for example, won't I have arrived? Last but not least, the future perfect continuous tense. Like the future perfect simple, this form is used to project ourselves forward in time and to look back. It refers to events or actions that are currently unfinished but will be finished at some future time. It is most often used with a time expression. For example, I will have been waiting here for 3 hours by 6 o'clock. By 2001, I will have been living in London for 16 years. When I finish this course, I will have been learning English for 20 years. Next year, I will have been working here for 4 years. When I come at 6, will you have been practicing long? And here is the formula of the future perfect continuous tense. It is subject plus will have been plus present participle. In affirmative form, for example, I will have been playing. He will have been living. In a negative form, I won't have been playing. He won't have been living. In an interrogative form, for example, will I have been playing? In an interrogative negative form, for example, won't I have been living? There are also several other ways to talk about the future without using a future verb tense. Using the present continuous to talk about future arrangements. Using the simple present to talk about scheduled events. Using going to talk about the future, future obligations, and the immediate future. The first one is using the present continuous to talk about future arrangements. The formula is the verb to be conjugated in the present tense plus about plus the infinitive of the main verb. For example, I am about to leave. They are about to arrive. This pattern is used to refer for a time immediately after the moment of speaking and emphasizes that the event or action will happen very soon. We often add the word just before the word about, which emphasizes the immediacy of the action. The second one is using the simple present to talk about scheduled events. The simple present is used to make statements about events at a later time than now, when the statements are based on present facts and when these facts are something fixed like a timetable, schedule, or a calendar. For example, the plane arrives at 6 o'clock tomorrow. She has a yoga class tomorrow morning. The restaurant opens at 19:30 tonight. Next Thursday at 14 o'clock there is an English exam. The plane leaves in 10 minutes. The third one is using going to talk about the future. The use of going to refer to future events suggests a very strong association with the present. The time is not important. It is later than now, but the attitude is that the event depends on something in the present situation that we know about. Going is mainly used to refer to our plans and intentions or to make predictions based on present evidence. In everyday speech, going to is often shortened to gonna, especially in American English, but it is never written that way. When we use going in phrase to talk about the future, the form is composed of three elements. The verb to be conjugated to match the subject, plus going, plus the infinitive of the main verb. For example, is Freddy going to buy a new car soon? Are John and Pam going to visit Milan when they are in Italy? I think Nigel and Mary are going to have a party next week. We are going to have dinner together tomorrow. The fourth one is future obligations. In written English, we can use this pattern to refer to an obligation or requirement that we do something at a time later than now. It is similar in meaning to must, but there is a suggestion that something has been arranged or organized for us. It is not normally used in spoken English. When we write about future obligation, we can use a formal pattern composed of two elements. The verb to be in the present tense conjugated to match the subject, plus the infinitive of the main verb. For example, you are to leave this room at once and you are to travel by train to London. In London, you are to pick up your ticket from Mr. Smith and you are to fly to your destination alone. When you arrive, you are to meet our agent Mr. X, who will give you further information. You are to destroy this message now. And the last one is the immediate future. This pattern is used to refer to a time immediately after the moment of speaking and emphasizes that the event or action will happen very soon. We often add the word just before the word about, which emphasizes the immediacy of the action. When we talk about the immediate future, we can use a pattern composed of three elements. The verb to be, conjugated in the present tense, plus about, plus the infinitive of the main verb. For example, she is about to cry. You are about to see something very unusual. I'm about to go to a meeting. We are just about to go inside. So, okay, everyone, I think that's all about it for this session. I hope you can start practice talking about your future goals and dreams using various techniques that I shared. See you in another session. Thank you.